Right, welcome to the blackbird shed. I'm going to show you a bit around the birds and the shed, see how I've got it laid out. We'll go through the canaries. I've got 8 pairs I think, at the moment, how they're doing. We've got a bit of bad news and a little bit of bad news this morning, but overall doing okay. We'll go through all that, and I just want to show you how I've got the cages laid out, what I'm feeding them in the mornings, and perhaps I'll update this again in a few weeks' time. But it's April the 11th today, so we're well into the beginning of the season, and hope you enjoy the video. Thank you. So first things first, this is how I keep a track of my canaries. As you can see, I've got the pairs labelled down the side, which cage they're in, brief description of the cock, perhaps the ring number, hen, and what's sort of going on, if it's their first round, whether I've got them fostering, and then when they lay their eggs, I allow for 5 eggs. Normally we only get 4, 3 sometimes. When the eggs have hatched, and if I've had to move an egg because I've got 5 and another one's got 3, and etc, etc. So you know, so far this season it's not looking too bad. I've got 4 babies in pair 1, 4 in pair 2, 4 in 3. Pair 6 we've got 3, and this morning, well, it was 4, this morning there's only 3, so we've lost one there. Couldn't find the body. It was a bit smaller, did hatch quite a bit later than the other 3, late in the afternoon. In fact, I actually cracked the egg open to get the baby out, so I didn't have a lot of hope with that one. It was a light coloured bird, that's all I know. It's now it's gone missing. 7, that's actually fostering. They're actually brother and sister. That's actually fostering 2 from pair 4, which I'll come to in a moment, and 1 bird from pair 2, where they had 5 eggs, and luckily I managed to move 1 egg, which was it was late hatching. I was expecting it the day after, but it was actually going to hatch the day after that. Timed perfectly well with this lot here, and I got them hatched all together, so they're doing fine from what I can remember. Pair 8, 3 decent babies, and pair 9, she's a bit tight on the nest. I haven't had a good look for a couple of days, but there's 3 babies there. I think we're doing okay with those, but we'll have to just double check on that. So I briefly look at this throughout the day. I don't have cards like I have here on this finch. I've also got a book. I don't want to be writing it on a card, on the board, and in a book. I feel that I can use that board. It's a small room here. At any point I can just look up at it and I've got the information. I don't need to go through pages. I don't need to keep updating a card. So that's what I do with my canaries. The first birds that were out was the ones from pair 2. Now they had 4 hatch. Like I say, the 5th one was a late hatcher. What we have here is in this cage here. So they're in cage 5. So we've got that's the hen. Let's get a bit of focus on that. Okay, so that's your hen, which is a brown frost red factor whatever, and then he's a yellow cock with a bit of variegated collar. So I was hoping to get some dark birds from that one. So if a little bit of Hessian I put over the nest pan, which just gives them a little bit more privacy. Seems to be working quite well this season. So if I fold that up, we can have a look now. So these babies hatched on the 28th, and it's the 11th today. So they're well in, they should be well developed, and they should be hatching. Sorry, they should be fledging the nest shortly. Okay, so there we go. We've got 4 babies in here. I'll just move that out of the way. I need to clean this out, as you can see. Bird muck all over there, and I do tend to clean this out once a day. Now there's this little eye there, beautiful. So these birds are going to be like their mother, which is fantastic. This is exactly what I wanted. I've got the 3 dark birds, and we've got a yellow bird there, which is, I think, is all yellow, but that's exactly what I wanted. They're all healthy. She's a great feeder. They've always got full crops, and they're going to be my favourite pair this season. I think pair 7. So these are a similar age bird. These hatched on the 30th. So one of these babies is actually a baby from the last box we just looked at. So I'm not 100% certain, but 95%, 99% certain that the dark bird would be the one that is the brother or sister to the 3 dark birds in the other. And you can see it's considerably smaller. So it hatched 2 days later. It was the 5th egg, and it's the same markings. It's almost certainly going to be the brother or sister to the other ones. Lovely little bird, and we've got 2 fantastic little white birds. The hen was mosaic with a patch on the side of her head. Unfortunately, she was in this cage with him, and a couple of 3 or 4 days ago, she just looked a bit rough. Really, she was a little bit. It looked like she just had a bath. Around her chest was the feathers were all a bit matted, and they were quite dirty. And well, the only bath she could use would have been the water. The water drinker, so I couldn't see how she was wet that much, and it was only on her chest. Not quite sure what that was at the time, so I thought I sprayed her a bit with some water, and we moved her to well, I left it as it was, and she was on 3 babies. They were the ones that were here, so it was pair 4, and they'd actually laid 5 eggs. Now they were all going to be sort of light birds, and anyway, what had happened was, and I've got a picture which so if you don't want to see it, that's coming up in a moment, how I found her dead, unfortunately, and she was on the nest and with the babies, and the babies were probably getting on for 10 days old. Well, the pair, they were in a pair 7, so they've been basically hatched on the 30th. So these babies hatched on, I think, the 29th, 28th, 29th. So they were getting on quite a bit. They were probably 10 days old, and that's when I found them. Obviously, she had died on them, and they were fairly well formed. They were getting fed pretty good. There was only 3 because I'd taken the 2 from there to put into here, and it's a good job that I did do that. If I'd have had all 5, we'd have lost all 5 birds. If I'd have took 3 and left 2 there, we'd have lost 2. It's just happened. It's just unlucky, but in a way you could say we're lucky that we moved the 2 from there, and that's given me the 2 babies which we've seen, which are in pair 7, which she's dead now, but 2 of her babies are still yet to fledge, so we're lucky in a way. I'll show you that picture now, so if you don't want to see that, obviously just go forward a little bit. Okay, so those babies were saved, the 2, but now he's now with her, so hopefully we'll get some eggs out of that. At the moment I'd moved the nest that she'd already made up to here, and I'll put a bit of extra stuff in there, and the nest's been tidied up a little bit. I think he feels that he's part of it now, so hopefully we'll get some babies from them. He's actually he's split for red because his mother is this bird here. So hopefully that any babies they'll have from there will have a bit of red on them, or if there's nothing up there, split for red. We'll see. but they'll probably be quite light birds. Maybe we'll get some variegated. Then we've got this top row. So the cages we've got along here, we have 3 in a row, which is cages 4, 5 and 6, which has got pairs 1, 2 and 3. If I hold the camera back there, perhaps you can see that I've got 9 cages there. They all have a partition that can be pulled out so that it leaves a cage, a much bigger cage. They're about 2 foot deep, 2 foot wide and about 2 foot tall. They're quite big cages. We've got them down the bottom as well, which I've got 2 cocker quails at the moment, but we've got some spare cages there for babies if we need to. The middle one there I've split down the middle as well with another partition. If I want to, I can break that, the bottom 3 cages, into 2 big cages. And as you can see, although I've got LEDs, it's only partly LED, that one. I broke the LED and it's due to be replaced during the summer, so that the cages can be lit up, because there's no light going into those cages down the bottom, no natural light anyway. The cages above, they all have, they're all across a quarter of the 2 windows we've got. So this one here, there's a fairly small window, and that is a quarter of the window. There's the window above, there's the other quarter, and then the other quarter is in there. So it allows a bit of natural lighting. This is the same. The window is there and there, and there, and that goes out to the aviary. The top 3 cages, there's a hole here, which is made from a plumbing waste pipe, and I've got a slider on the outside, and I allow the birds to go out into the aviary, which is also split into 4, 3, 2, however I decide to split it. Multiple doors I have in that. On this side here, I've got the board up, and these birds are a few more mixed finches, and these also can fly through where the partition could be into a big flight. Basically, this is what I've got in this one. So we've got as many as 22 African silverbills. There's 4 Bengalese, 4 hybrid. Well, it's also bred with a spice finch. We've got 4 spice finch. So in total, 4 spice finch hybrids. 1 from an African silverbill, and the other one the other 3 with the Bengalese. We've got a pair of weavers, and the cock is just clear. It's just colouring up now. The Bork's parakeet. There's 2 spare canary hens in there. There's a hex grass finch, a male, which is from a pair I did have, and a diamond, and a diamond firetail cock as well. There's also 5 cutthroat finches. There's a yellow throated cock, red throated cock, and a hen, and also 2 babies, which were actually brought up by the pair of spice finches. They laid their eggs in their nest, and they also brought up 2 baby spice finches. So I've got 2 young spice finches and 2 cutthroat finches, red throated, which were laid in this nest, a bit like a cuckoo, and there is a video on that if you want to see my surprise when I saw those birds, because I wasn't expecting that. Star finches, there's 3, 1 cock, and then which is a red head, and then a yellow and a red hen, and they seem to get on really well. They're very friendly birds, but they don't really nest at the moment. With the other birds in there, I need to sort of get them separated so that they don't get disturbed really. Gouldian finches, I've got 5, because there was a pair I've got, and they've had the 3 babies so far. They're on 5 eggs as well at the moment. This is their card I put on there. So today we had the 5th egg. There you go, there's the 5 eggs. Could have quite a few eggs there eventually. I've got to keep an eye on them, and these are the babies. The babies are outside. So the babies are outside at the moment. There's a video on those if you want to see that. And we've got 3 Indian silverbill finches, which I've not videoed before. So they are in this flight. They just do not go outside. So they should be going outside, but they don't. I'm going to put the camera in. We'll see if we can see what that like. So there they are. They're all cocks as far as I can see. I thought I had a pair to begin with. There was no singing, no eggs, so I thought maybe they're 2 hens, so I went and got a cock. And I think I've actually got 3 cocks now. So I'm still after a hen, so I can at least start getting a bit of a family going there. I don't put them in with the other flight because we've got African silverbills in there, and there's obviously a tendency that they could hybrid, and because they're both silverbills, one's an Asian and one's African, I don't want them to hybrid. What I've got here is 2 grey ones and a brown one. They're nice birds, really lovely birds. They've only been in this cage for probably a couple of weeks. Still haven't gone outside to the aviary yet. I think when it gets warmer they'll probably do that. We'll see. But my idea is that in these 3 cages on the top here, is that what I will do is put the star finches and the spice finches definitely, so that they're separated from the others, so we don't get too many more hybrids. I don't want hybrids. They're nice birds, the hybrids, but of course they don't tend to be fertile, and I want to keep it. I don't really want to be hybrid in birds. I want to try and keep them as they're meant to be. Thank you. Okay, then, and by the way, this space that I'm in here, probably only, well, it's 8 foot across the shed at this end, and this space from there to the door there is about 9 foot. So I've got in total not a big area. Through there, a bit of a mess at the moment, but there is the sink, kitchen area, a larder where I keep all my seed, and you can see that there's a bit of a bar that needs tidying up for the summer. And we've got a cage, like a box here, which in there I keep a lot of the stuff that I need to hand. So we've got nest boxes, just odds and sods here, and some cleaning products, a few more nest boxes. There's a cage, transport cage. I've got a box there which I've got 2 cages in, and just more odds and sods, trying to keep it so that the dust's off it. So I've got it in a box like that. It just get very dusty in a room like this. Up here I've got the electrics. So we have a mosquito zapper, which I've just recently got. Hopefully that's going to get some of the little midges and stuff that we have in the summer. I have a timer here. This is to the extractor fan over there. So switch that on. That's nice, it comes on. That's time to go on and off every half an hour. I only really put it on when it's really warm and muggy. This timer is for some LEDs, which are on a timer which just keep a sort of ambient light within the room. Another timer is for these lights here, which come on, which are blue LEDs, and that gives it a sort of a midnight effect, so that the light grows gradually. And these other lights are actually just on the lights switch. I can switch them on and off, and they go throughout the shed. 4 of those. And we've also got the USB ports here, which are for the fans. So these fans I can switch on at the back. Go again, a hot day, put the fans on, let's get a bit of air circulation, and with that fan up, the extractor fan on as well, makes it a better atmosphere in here. What I would like to get is a dehumidifier, which I will probably put, it needs to be put near the floor, so that's likely to go in the other room. where it's more likely to be damper. It's very dry in here. Just also with the canaries, obviously you take the eggs away during as they're laid, and then put them back on the 4th egg. I keep them up here in the meantime, so I've got them labelled by cage number. So for example, there you go, it's a good example. So here, this is cage 19, and in there I normally try to have them so it's 3 of the same size eggs. I put the laid egg in there, put that one in the nest, and then again day after put that one in the nest, another egg there, same again, and then take all 3 out, put them in with a 4th egg, and it helps me keep a track of which eggs go with which bird. And I keep it up here, and I just label which one it is. And then over here we've got 2 cage flights, as you may have seen. In here we've got a pair of parrotlets, which one's blue and one is not quite so blue, but a blue one again, I believe. And they've had babies, so we've got 4 babies in here, and the babies come out, 3 of them have come out. This grey colour, it's scruffy at the moment, that one is. One over here, one there, and I think that's the other one there, that blue one there. So we've got 1 blue and 5 grey. Focus on it. I've got a video on those if you want a closer look at them. There you go, beautiful bird. They're a bit squabbly at the moment, and I do need to move those birds on. Problem is I didn't get a chance to get rings on them because they were, the last one was actually hatched on December 25th, on Christmas Day. I'd ordered the rings, but the rings place didn't open until the 11th of January. So by the time I got the rings, the birds were too big to put the rings on. So I've got to catch them, which isn't going to be easy because it's a big flight. And then I've got to ring them with what I got, which is a split ring now, and then see if anybody wants them. But they're lovely birds. It may be that I move them all on because it was something I wanted to experiment with. I found it that they're quite easy to breed, but they're nice little characterful creatures. I probably need to split the cage back into 2 so I can make it easy to catch them, because if I put my hand in there, they're going to fly down here. I'm not going to catch them. They're quite fast, and they do bite. So we'll see. So that's the parrotlets, which I've got 6 of in total.
Somebody told me that it's over. Oh no, it's true. You made me happy for a while. I remember fleeting times when we slept on top of cars. Now I don't know you, you don't know me too. I remember fleeting times when we watched the sparks of fire. Now I don't know you, you don't know me. Stars shone in our eyes like the lights of fireflies. We were obsessed and we felt warmth in our chests. Your heart was full of dreams. It made you feel extreme. Give me a sign if you keep it in mind. But somebody told me that it's over. I know it's true. You made me happy for a while. fleeting times when we stepped on top of cars. Now I don't know you, you don't know me too. I remember fleeting times when we watched the sparks so far. Now I don't know you, you don't know me too. We knew we'd be forever young. Now I don't know you, you don't know me too. I knew that love would never die. Now I don't know you, you don't know me too.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. That's the first little tour around the bird room that I've given. And if you know anything about what I'm doing, or if you've got any advice or any comments, I'd really appreciate any comments. I will get back to you. Also, if you do like the video, please like, and I'll be grateful if you subscribe as well. Only started this sort of thing this year, and I want to bring out quite a bit more content, but I also get a lot from the videos that I watch, all the other people that do birdroom videos. So I hope that you got something from today, and if if you like what you see, please like, comment and subscribe. Thank you very much.